Sometimes the longest journey we take is the one that leads us back to ourselves. In a quiet valley where mist often clung to the mountains like a blanket, there lived a young woman named Alina. People admired her for her confidence and her endless energy. She worked harder than anyone in her village, always the first to help others, always ready to chase new challenges. From the outside, her life looked perfect. But deep inside, Alina carried a weight no one could see. No matter how much she achieved, no matter how many times people praised her, she felt something was missing. Every night, when the village grew silent and the stars scattered across the sky, she would sit alone by her window. A hollow voice inside whispered, "Is this all there is? Where is the joy I've been chasing?" One evening, after another long day of endless tasks, Alina couldn't ignore that voice anymore. She decided to seek answers. She remembered hearing stories about a wise woman who lived at the edge of the ancient forest, a place where few dared to go. They called her Mira, the keeper of hidden truths. People whispered that Mira had the power to help others see their lives from a completely new light. The very next morning, Alina packed a small bag and set off. Her heart was restless, but her determination was strong. The path to the forest was long, with narrow trails and steep climbs. Birds chirped in the trees, and the cool breeze brushed her face, yet her thoughts kept circling around the emptiness in her chest. Finally, after hours of walking, she reached a tiny wooden hut resting in the shadows of tall oak trees. The air around it felt different, quiet, calm, almost sacred. Sitting on a simple chair outside was Mira, a woman with silver hair and eyes that seemed to hold the reflection of the world itself. She smiled, as though she had been expecting Alina all along. Alina bowed slightly and said, "Mira, I need your guidance. I've tried so hard to build a good life, but no matter what I do, happiness slips away. Please tell me, how can I find true peace?" Mira studied her for a moment, her smile gentle yet knowing. Then she spoke in a calm voice. "I will help you. But first, you must do something for me." From behind her chair, she pulled out a worn clay pot. The pot had cracks running along its surface, and it looked like it might break at any moment. Handing it to Alina, Mira said, "Every morning for the next 10 days, take this pot down to the river. Fill it with water, carry it up the hill, and pour it into the small pond behind my hut. But remember, this pot cannot hold all the water. It will spill as you walk." Alina frowned, confused. "But what's the point if the water leaks?" Mira simply smiled. "Do as I say, and you will understand." The next morning, Alina began her task. She walked to the river, dipped the cracked pot into the cool water, and started her climb back up. Half the water dripped out before she reached the pond. By the time she poured it in, barely a little trickle remained. She sighed, disappointed, but returned the next day to try again. Day after day, she repeated the same routine. The sun burned her skin. The climb made her legs ache, and the pot kept losing water. She felt frustrated. "This is useless," she muttered more than once. Yet something inside urged her to keep going, even when she didn't understand why. On the 10th day, exhausted and disheartened, Alina dragged herself back to Mira with the nearly empty pot. "I've failed," she said bitterly. "I couldn't fill your pond. The cracks made it impossible." Mira stood, her silver hair catching the sunlight. She placed a hand on Alina's shoulder and whispered, "Look back at the path you walked." Puzzled, Alina turned around, and her eyes widened. The once dry, dusty trail she had traveled every day was now lined with blooming wildflowers. Vibrant colors painted the ground, butterflies hovered in the air, and the scent of fresh blossoms filled the breeze. Alina gasped, "How is this possible?" Mira's eyes glimmered with wisdom. "The water you thought was wasted gave life to the earth. Every drop that slipped from the cracks nourished seeds hidden in the soil. The beauty you see now exists because of the pot's flaws. Do you understand, child? Life is the same. We are all cracked in some way. We all lose things we think are essential. But those very imperfections can bring unexpected beauty into the world. Tears welled up in Alina's eyes. For the first time in years, her heart felt lighter. She whispered, "So happiness isn't about being perfect or reaching every goal?" Mira shook her head softly. True happiness is not found in a flawless life. It's found in the journey. Every small step, every effort, even when the result isn't what you planned. You may never reach the perfect image you've been chasing, but along the way, you are leaving behind seeds of kindness, courage, and love. That is where meaning lies. Those words sank deep into Alina's soul. She realized that her constant chasing, her endless struggle for perfection, had blinded her to the quiet beauty she was already creating in the lives of others. The laughter she sparked in children, the help she gave her neighbors, the comfort she offered to friends, all of it mattered. When Alina returned to her village, she wasn't the same person. She no longer lived with the crushing weight of emptiness. Instead, she carried a newfound understanding. Her cracked pot, the imperfections she once hated, were not her weakness. They were her gift. And whenever she walked through the valley and saw wildflowers blooming by the roadside, she remembered Mira's words. It's not the destination that defines us. It's the trail of beauty we leave behind. This story reminds us that chasing perfection can make us blind to the real treasures of life. The cracks in our journey are not failures. They are opportunities to create unexpected beauty, and when we learn to embrace them, that's when we finally discover what true happiness feels like. So, if this story touched your heart, don't forget to like and share it. And if you want to hear more stories that inspire and heal, subscribe to our channel and stay connected. Thank you for being with us today.